Hey everyone, welcome to Wax Pack Wisdom. I'm Jake T. O'Donnell. Today I attended the Northeast Sports Card Expo in Quincy, Mass. It's a big show. It's a show that keeps getting bigger. And today was the second of 2 days. I went, it was a Saturday, Sunday show. I went today, Sunday. I made a couple pickups. They were kind of at the very end of my time at the show today. And they were from my friend and yours, Matt from Providence, my co-host on the hit list. I had a good time. Every time I go to a card show, I have a good time. It's nice to see people who watch the channel and say that they enjoy it. That is a wonderful thing. I ran into quite a few people that like to watch the channel today, so that's always fun. There were dealers that I get to spend time with, of course, Matt and his dad. It's always great to spend time with those guys. I got to see Paul Borges today, who runs PB Collectibles in Newport, Rhode Island. Great to spend time with him. Um, and then a few other guys. Greg, who I've mentioned before, had great stuff today. A few other dealers. Um, I had brought a card with me that I was possibly going to use to trade if I had found a big card that I wanted. And it might surprise some people, this card that I'm kind of willing to part with. And it's actually this. It's my T206 Cobb. For the right card, I'm willing to trade or trade plus cash with this card. And there was a card that I very much wanted today that a dealer had that was a guy who sells both vintage and modern. He had a 1934 Gaudi Lou Gehrig, the one with the yellow background, and I really we talked and we tried to work it out. We tried to hash out kind of value and all of that, and we couldn't get there in terms of it being something that made sense for me. Um, so I don't know. I'm gonna sort of hang on to this card for now. I bought that other Cobb at the National from Bill Chappell, the American Caramel from 1921. So I don't know that I necessarily need this one anymore. And there probably are other Cobb cards that I would want to. And in fact, I think it's one of these things where I look at this card now and I think it's a nice card. It's a nice copy of the card, but maybe someday would I want one that's a little bit nicer, maybe. Um, but again, we couldn't quite come to a deal. There were a few other cards I looked at today that I just didn't feel like kind of pulling the trigger on it. So I had to I was there from about 9:30 until about 11:30, 11:45, and I went through Matt's stacks that he had at the show, his boxes, and I picked out three cards, and he gave me an incredible deal on those three cards. So we're going to go over to the table in a second. I'm going to show those to you. Um, I think that after Shriners, my spending and my buying has gone down quite a bit, um, and I'm really kind of focused on very specific things. And yeah, I didn't see a lot today that like motivated me to be like, yeah, I have to buy that card, and that's okay. Um, Not every show is going to be a home run. Not every show, I'm going to walk away with seven or eight cards or more than that. That's just not how I collect. It's not how I collect anymore, and I'm okay with that. It's important to know when to walk away and not kind of force yourself into a bad deal because you have big eyes for one card or multiple cards. So I'm happy with the pickups that I made today. The three cards that I'm going to show you, they're all 1950s cards, um, and they're all of Hall of Famers, and they're all cool, unique cards to me anyway. They're not well, they're unique in the sense that I don't think I've ever owned any of these three cards in my collection before. So yeah, we'll go over to the table in a second, and I'll show those to you. The show was busy. It definitely got busy late morning. I had heard from people that the show was really nuts on Saturday. Maybe if I had gone on Saturday, I would have seen the cards, maybe more cards that would have been more enticing to me to try to buy. To me, it's always a good time. It's always a good time to go to card shows, and I didn't take any footage of any of the tables or anything today. Um, but let's go over to the table, and I'll show you the three cards that I did pick up today. All right, so I got to the end of the show today, and I really honestly didn't think I was going to buy anything, but I went through sort of Matt's value boxes, I guess you could say, and I picked out three cards. Two are raw, one is graded, and they're all just they're cards that I'm happy to add to my collection. So let me show you. I'll start with the first of the raw cards, and it's this 53 Warren Spawn. It is obviously low grade, missing kind of a good chunk of that there. It seems like maybe it was a weird cut there or something got trimmed there and pretty off center. But the image itself of Warren Spawn is truly outstanding. This is his last card with the Braves, of course. That off season, the Braves moved to from Boston to Milwaukee, and as I think you probably are aware, some of the early series cards in this set from the Braves players are show them as being with Boston, and then the later series is at that point they had already announced they were moving to Milwaukee, and the guys are in the Milwaukee uniform. So the final card of Warren Spahn, legendary lefty with the Braves. And this is just I'm just going to stick this in my vintage binder. I'm not gonna grade this one. Not really worth it, I don't think. But I had just sold that 53 Spawn, and I decided that I wanted to kind of replace it and have a new 53. And I actually did buy another 53 tops that you're going to see in a second here. So happy to add that Spawn. It's a nice card. It's fitting right in that slot right there. All right, the next one is the other raw card that I bought today, and I got a 52 Bowman Dobie, and you see it's got a little crease right there, and those are some little like almost looks like staple holes right there, but again, a really nice image and a clean card of Dobie, and the back there's this like mark on the back there, but I um I was totally okay with that. I don't know what I'm going to do exactly. If this is going to be I might grade this. I bought that 51 Bowman Dobie recently, and I might consider grading this one. It'll probably just come back as a one, but it probably will look nice in the SGC slab. And then I have that PSA one of the 51 Dobie that I was going to send to crossover because I didn't really like how it looks in the slab. And then maybe I'd sell that one instead sell that one in the PSA one instead of sending it into crossover. I don't really know, but either way, I do really like this card, and this is a nice addition of the first African American player ever in the history of the American League, the man that broke the color barrier, and somebody who I feel like is getting more love in the hobby, which he deserves. And the last one is the only graded card that I bought today. And this was from Matt as well, like all three of these cards. And it's a guy that is a Red Sox, a Hall of Famer who played with the Red Sox. I don't think I had any of his cards. I've had some of his cards in the past, but this is the first time I've owned any of his Red Sox cards. And it is this 53 tops George Kell in a PSA 2 miscut. Now, you look at this card, and it's got there's a little ding right there. It's got honest corners. It's not even really that off center. So I was wondering, well, you look at the front of the card and you're like, why is it miscut? Well, it's miscut because of the back. But like, who cares, right? Um, it's a nice card on the front, decent enough card on the front. And yeah, George Kell, third baseman, mostly known for his time with the Tigers, but did spend quite a few years with the Red Sox, and eventually made his way to the Hall of Fame. So, like I said, I didn't own any of his. I certainly didn't own any of his cards with the Red Sox, and I don't think I ever have. And I believe that maybe in the past I owned cards of his with the Tigers, uh, but anyway, yeah, I was really happy. So Matt had these cards stickered. I think the total sticker price, if I added all of these up, was he had these stickered at $105, and I asked him what he wanted for these, and he said, "Give me $60," and I was like, "What?" And then he's like, "Okay, 80." And I said, "No, you said 60, so that's what I'm going to give you." So I got these three Hall of Famers um, in from great sets, beautiful cards. When these cards were truly they were art um, for $60 total. Thank you to Matt from Providence. What a guy! Truly, I mean that. What a guy! Um, and so thank you, Matt. These are awesome cards. And look, and you don't always have to go out and buy the biggest cards when you go to a card show or whatever. So So that's going to do it. I am expecting to get my cards that I won in the CIA auction tomorrow, Monday. So I should get a video out either Monday night or first thing Tuesday of those when they arrive. Hopefully they will arrive tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for watching. Again, if you saw me today at the card show and you came up and said hello and said some nice things about the channel, I really appreciate that. That means a lot to me. And thanks everybody for watching. And we'll be back later. We'll be back with at least one, maybe two more videos before Thanksgiving. So hope everybody has a great rest of your weekend. I think I might try to get this up Sunday night. Check out our ComC store. I believe we're running. There's going to be a special this week, Black Friday special, and so a lot of our cards will be discounted. And then check out our list of favorite nonprofits and charities. We appreciate that if you could check those out, and where we are on social media if you want to follow us there. So thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time on Wax Pack Wisdom. Take care.